to be a repeated success of Lulu so far,
Lee Sin?
especially versus Jax. Junglers, definitely. You know, we have one Elise ban. That signals either somebody's first pick in Lee Sin, or he's going to find his way onto that screen as well.
Well, there's only 10 seconds. Everybody's holding their breath.
Guys, do you think they'll just give us Lee Sin? You think so? Yeah.
Oh!
Okay. Syndra. The mid lane, as you talked about, both these teams putting a lot of emphasis on the mid lane.
See if they can be the ones to put out the power, or they're just kind of throwing everybody off in the early game talks. The last band to come out is a Lulu, and it is the Lee Sin, picked up right away.
It's almost like these teams fall into patterns.
Oh. Yes.
Lee Sin for NoName. He will be happy with that pick.
Yeah, as the captain and the playmaker. You
technically, though, we should still be leaving the door open for the top lane Lee Sin. But it's only open a small crack.
Yeah.
Pretty much always take it to the jungle there. We'll see what NoName can do, because NoName's had very effective early games. He is also the team captain. It's very easy to make calls when you're on Lee Sin, because you're able to drop a lot of vision with your sight ward, go for early invades. Yep. It's very easy to direct the team. Whoa! Lightning quick picks coming in here.
LMQ, back to their roots in a just kill you style composition so far. We'll see what Curse can put in their hands. The Gragas has come out. We have not seen the best Gragas play across the board. Everybody's getting a kick out of this. We'll see what...
XiaoWeiXiao, big grin on his face, though. Always like to see him happy.
Oh, yeah.
And always like to see him on Yasuo. He is one of the most impressive North American Yasuo players out there. And he's already got several ways to set up his ultimate. So very, very easy ultis for Yasuo going to come in for the late game.
Unfortunately, he's only gotten 2 chances to play it since it's always banned out against him. But those plays have been absolutely amazing. 11-2-6 and 5-1-11. So watch out. Could be forced onto an Eve here. Not too bad of a champion for Dominate to be on, but he's got to be careful. And hopefully Curse doesn't fall behind, because their ability to get Eve in a situation of side ganks, getting back into a game, isn't that great.
And with Eve locked in, that means that Gragas is secured for the top lane.
Right, yeah,
that will be a Quas on Gragas. Now, Gragas is fairly similar to Mundo, who is one of Quas's favorite champions. However, Gragas is much more utility-oriented and much more mid-game oriented. He's not as strong as a tank as Mundo, however, brings much more utility to the team and a much earlier power spike than Mundo. Mundo really looking at that late game to become the tank of all tanks, whereas Gragas has this mid-game window where he is really, really strong. He can throw his weight around and really dictate the early pace of the game. Wow, Voyboy bouncing over a couple of strong Yasuo counters here. Both of those are very strong Yasuo counter picks. Akali is one that he's used before, yet he goes with neither.
Goes with the Ryze. We'll see how it changes. Ryze was recently, especially recently, I'd say a patch or spring ago, split, not a patch. Wow, words are easy. In the top lane. So now Voyboy bringing that to the mid lane. We saw Pobelter drawing bans on it. We'll see if they can scale it into the late game, because they got Kog, they got Ryze. Gragas gets pretty big as well in those fight compositions, and he can be a big guy. Up against that kill team, though, of LMQ, that is going to be a lot of early pressure.
Yes. Can a Ryze and Kog'Maw team make it through the beginning of this game? If they can, it's a very, very good omen for that team.
Bullets.
However, we saw EG fail with a very similar comp. They had Gragas, they had Ryze, and they had Kog'Maw, and they couldn't pull it out in the end game with only 2 threats.
Well, let's take a look at the poll on LOLesports.com to see who you think will take the W. It's 76% going to LMQ right now, and that can change.
Don't forget, you can change that yourself by sending in your picks to @LOEsports. Use the hashtag LMQWin or CRSWin, and we will update that poll shortly.
And I'm not going to lie. I'm loving the long games because it's giving us standard lanes, and I like to see how everybody matches up 1v1. Who can create the most pressure in the early game. So let's keep it going. These teams have played up to 35 and 47-minute games, so we're looking for another long haul here.
You're already just putting it out there. I mean, we've got Ryze and we have Kog'Maw, so some of the teams are looking for a bit longer of a game. But LMQ, really strong early and mid-game power spikes here. Renekton, Lee Sin, Corki, all of these early game, mid-game bullies. They're going to push as far as they can in this early game. And the only problem for them is that after they've gotten these early leads, which have been fairly easy for them to secure, they then overreach with a tower dive. And that's where the teams with the later scaling champions have turned it around on them in the past.
Everything kind of falls into place in this game. LMQ's good at taking an early lead. Curse is a team that's good when they're behind in gold. They're able to win fights. So we'll see if that plays into their favor.
Yeah, it's a really interesting matchup, actually, because LMQ are the team to make a move. Curse are the team, they don't like making moves anymore. They want to wait for their opponents to do just that and capitalize on any mistake that their opponents do make. So it's really just about, we are pretty sure LMQ is going to be the one making the moves early. Are they going to be successful? Because Curse are looking to turn those around.
Seems like you need to play the freak style of game, where you let them get a bunch of kills, and then you just take the money back.
Is that freak strategy?
All day.
He builds up the
the
kill bounties on his opponents.
And then you take it.
And then take it back. Oh,
that mind game. But no, it's something LMQ does. You kind of picture it in your head as they're diving down at the bottom tier, second tier turret, and then they do it again. And then they come back to do it again, and that third time is when they get caught. Those are the mistakes we're talking about. Like you said, they always think they can get a little too much. Here, we're going to get no invades for the start of the game. Everybody's being pretty nice and easy.
Yep.
15 minutes, no rush.
We'll see. Defensive start here for Curse. They've metered out their wards down this river to see if there are any delayed invades. Standard lanes, you get your wish riv.
Yeah.
Will be a little bit slower of a game. I really am going to pay attention to this top lane matchup because I'm very interested to see how well Quas can do with Gragas. I like Gragas in this matchup, actually. With the nerfs to Doran Blade, they actually really hurt Renekton a lot. Not only is the health hit, the damage was hit, and the sustain was hit because it's only lifesteal now, and you get way less than 5 per hit. But Renekton used to rely on, every time he activates his W, that's 2 more procs of the Doran Blade, and every time it's a power, that's 3 more procs. Now it's only a pittance with a small amount of lifesteal. His sustain was actually hit substantially. Whereas Gragas, his passive is going to do a lot of sustain. Renekton will have to rely on that cold meek.
Great trade in the early game. Sustain in the bottom lane. Coming up, a double phosphorus.
Value right there, Riv. Value
Real
bomb.
value. 2 for.
Rename that ability.
To value?
Value bomb.
That's pretty weak.
That's pretty bad.
Phosphorus. Make it stinky.
Rat-a-tat-tat bomb. All right, so the harass early coming out from LMQ as expected. Corki, Nami, extremely strong, and they've got the side bush control. It's very easy to tell who's dictating the bottom lanes, which support is able to get that side bush control, especially in matchups like Thresh versus Nami, who have windups to their skill shots. Very easy for them to land from the bushes. Very difficult to dodge when you don't see the windup coming. We'll see if they can make Cop and Xpecial pay. But Cop and Xpecial are used to this style of play. Defensive style opening up. They just want to CS through this mid game, through this early game.
Kiwi Kid and Cutie Pie talking about take advantage of that defensive style. And so far, Vasilii and more have pushed in. Only a 5 CS lead, but that can start to be that level 3, 4.
Dives this early on are very dangerous, especially against Thresh. Thresh can interrupt the Lee Sin travel time when he goes for the second activation of Q.
Waiting for Dominate to come around, but he's on the top side maybe?
Yeah, it would happen. He's waiting for the counter gank, but Dominate does not usually go to gank Curse bottom lane. I think that was maybe a failure in scouting from LMQ. Dominate, he usually lets Cop and Xpecial play defensively and leaves them down there to that game. So no gank from him.
If you're going to play defensive and know you're not going to be in trouble. Wow! Sonic Wave at the max range. They can't get too much off, but the flash will be enough for a return trip here in a few minutes. Hook missed out by Xpecial. You can see, as we were talking about, the ward control in that side bush. No one really has it.
Great shot from NoName there. Able to get out that Voyboy flash very early on. Voyboy's going to have to purchase vision to protect himself now. He opted for the pink ward instead of trying to get multiple greens. Maybe didn't have enough for the duo of greens. Needs to also keep himself supplied with biscuits to sustain through the Yasuo harass. However, on this Ryze running exhaust, that is something you don't see too often. Really what he's worried about is the all-in. Once Yasuo comes in, if you ult him during that, or if you exhaust him during that ult, wow, NoName back to bottom. What a hook, but they have NoName in the vicinity, so you can't do anything about it.
Got the flash out. Very nicely done there. We'll have to see if they can return, like you were saying. The exhaust is going to be pretty helpful, but it's got to have a good target to hit it on, because if you have NoName and XiaoWeiXiao on you, you might be dead anyways. Good choice there, though.
NoName spending so much time down here. NoName has not been in his jungle for a good 2 solid minutes.
Right.
Up and down this river, and look at that gold lead from Dominate. He's got 10 CS lead on NoName. Level 5.
Yep.
NoName still down here. He is not giving up.
This is going to give Dominate a perfect chance to come. Oh, no way! Right into the turret! This is going to be first blood. Cobb flashes in. Where's the defensive play from Curse now? They're going headstrong aggro onto this. A good move coming in. Cobb does finally go down to Kathy in surprise. The double kill for him.
You got to give it to Cobb. He's making great use of that passive on Kog'Maw. That is strong passive play there from Kog'Maw. Gets the double kill with it.
What I do want to see is more players using the fanfare when you're in a cast.
Look at Xpecial here. Dodges the bubble, gets the perfect play into tower range, lands the crooked hook, stays alive. Boom. And Cobb wants the kill, so he flashes forward. Maybe a little bit of greed there to wait for Dominate. But he does get the double kill for his efforts. Starting off that Kog'Maw strong is going to be really big for them. And man, we said Dominate does not usually gank this bottom lane, but if NoName is down there for a minute straight, maybe 3 successive ganks down there, and he just draws the attention of Dominate, who had been farming the whole time, who's level 5, huge lead on him, item advantage as well. And once Dominate came to join the party, Xpecial comes up with a huge play down bottom and makes NoName regret his stay in the bottom lane.
The one last thing I want to see from Kog'Maw players is that they do use the fanfare when they're dying. You can still press Control 1. When you're running around, it's a great thing to do.
Is it?
Taunt your foes while you're about to blow up on them. 2-1, 7.5 into this game. What looked like was going to be trouble in the bottom lane kind of picked up from Curse. Get Cop going a little bit earlier in this one. He's definitely on a long late game AD carry. If he can get Kog'Maw fed up quite well, we'll see a different style of play from him.
I like this move from Dominate. Summoners are blown down bottom. He is Evelyn, so it's very easy for him to get into a gank. Pink ward is in the tri-bush though, so as long as he doesn't wrap around that, he should be able to get in here for an ultimate, get the slowdown for an easy hook for Xpecial. Now, the other thing about NoName camping bottom is he leached experience from the bottom lane for a long time as well. So while he is level 6, equal with Dominate, he hurt the bottom lane, stealing experience from Vasilii and more. As if dying wasn't enough to get them behind, they're also going to be behind in experience down there. But again, true to Vasilii style, he's on Corki, he's bullying, he shove it right back up into Curse's face.
Well, if you have the wards, you make sure they don't use the pressure they just got, and they're forced to use all their attacks and abilities under the turret, keeping them safe. The sustain from Moore and Vasilii keeps them in the mindset that they can keep playing strong. Pink wards from behind, but they're actually not going to see this regular ward that Dominate's about to walk over. See if they actually decide. They are playing very aggressive.
This is a long cooldown on Valkyrie, one of the longest cooldowns for a dash of an AD carry. Dominate should just run in there and go ultimate. The cooldown after it was just used, and Vasilii's right up there. This hesitation is a little bit much. I guess he's waiting for the hook for Xpecial to come back up, but wow, Xpecial does it himself. He doesn't wait for
Dominate. He plays him into the box wall. That's Cobbs coming up clean. The bubble goes out, and they wait. Nice guy. And he holds on for Xpecial. The Thresh Express almost able to capitalize on some damage from Vasilii, but that's Dragon.
That was all Xpecial right there. They didn't even need Dominate for that kill. Great hook straight onto Nami. NoName comes a little bit late to the party, but he's got double buffs Lee Sin formidable early game foe. Yasuo has just been forced back to base though. What perfect timing for Curse to grab that kill. Two-man defense for LMQ. Can they go for a steal? Unlikely.
No, this is going to be a easy Dragon going over to Curse. Plays coming from Xpecial.
Oh!
Great ultimate. Watch out for Dominus. He's going to be able to trade back as well as sustain. And if Quas can't get his abilities off, that passive won't be helping too much. So they kind of go even on the trade with ults being used both sides.
Yeah. Guess we learned a little bit about that matchup.
Yeah.
Ackerman performing very well on his Renekton. Good CSing under turret there by Voyboy with the Flux. We'll see though. We have drawn some attention to Quas. After that last exchange, Ackerman called up reinforcements. Nice, zones him off of that minion. It's the small things. XiaoWeiXiao went through a ward, doesn't care.
Ooh. Just a love tap from Dominate. Didn't really want anything.
Scare him off.
A lot of pressure in that top lane. LMQ had 3 members. Knowing that Dragon's down, they're kind of objective free, so they're trying to get something out of that. But yeah, nicely thwarted by Curse.
Curse, really good answer there.
Yeah.
Voyboy on Ryze, trying to get his mana items to scale. Tier stacking up. He went with early tabby. It delays his Rod of Ages a little bit. However, it's completely worth it because it blocks so much damage from Yasuo.
Slow moving here for LMQ. With Curse having the lead, we'll see how they play this. This is exactly what we talked about in the beginning. Curse is a very good team at playing from behind, but they get themselves into trouble when they do have the lead. They take even more than LMQ tries to take when they have a lead, and it really backfires hard.
All right. That logic only goes so far, though, because you'd always rather have the lead. So I'm still,
this is true.
They're still pretty happy.
This is true.
With having the lead earlier, especially Cop, who's, you know, they're playing defensive down there. He's really happy to have those
It's a different
kills.
pace. Definitely a different pace for the lead to be on Cop right
Man,
now.
NoName back to bottom, though. Oof. So much ward control bottom. It doesn't matter to Lee Sin because he's created lane ganks. He could safeguard in there for something. But even with 3 kills, this Curse bottom lane plays defensively. They play safe. So I don't think NoName really counted on the style of this bottom lane when he planned out his early jungle pathing.
Right, because it's seen. He is walking through a security system right now, and Curse is going to know if he ever comes near bottom, this is keep playing safe. Good pressure on mid turret. XiaoWeiXiao is trying to get this down so he can roam.
Now, NoName going to invade here. He is at a severe disadvantage if he meets Evelyn. Dominate already has completed Lizard Elder, whereas he's sitting on double longswords here. NoName is extremely poor, but he gets the deep ward down with, you know, no retaliation from Curse.
Just little things that could possibly help to make a move when they need it, whether it's going to be a dive on Voyboy or just control of the next blue buff that leads to a dragon. So many possibilities. Easier said than done. Can LMQ act on what they're trying to put in a position? Good damage on the bottom tier turret. They're winning in the lane pressure right now, but they don't seem to have control of the map. Now they're starting to gain control of that map. Now they're trying to shut down Dominate. There's the dive we were just talking about. The forward wards pay off immediately.
That combo, Lee Sin Yasuo, is a very popular one. A lot of burst damage for Evelyn, even though Dominate gets off his ulti. Not able to survive, and that is going to be big for XiaoWeiXiao. He already had static shift, which is a big spike.
There's a grab from the bottom lane.
Man, Xpecial is just carrying this bottom lane really, really hard.
Hey man, all-star support came from that Thresh. Xpecial's mechanics on Thresh just over and over again. He's still got it.
I mean, it's making it hard, you know. Vasilii here on Corki wants to be able to bully Kog'Maw early. That's the whole point of this Corki pick, is his early and mid-game prowess, the power that he has over Kog while they're scaling up. But now, Kog'Maw completed Trinity Force. That has pretty much been evened out. It's already 14 minutes here. Cop should not be getting pushed around any longer.
No. Look at that scoreboard, 2-4. When you look at the bottom lane of Curse, 4 kills on Cop, 4 assists on Xpecial, working it very well in that bottom lane, and Dominate was there for 2 to participate in those. You can tell, looking at the inventories, Curse is definitely looking for the long haul Rod of Ages to be stacked up as well as the tier with your Kog'Maw late game.
Meanwhile, top lane, Quas has crawled back. Only a few CS down to Ackerman, and he's scaling up fairly well here, getting some armor in now.
Doing well.
To supplement his early AP buys. Not going for the early completion of that Rod of Ages, though. He's sitting on the Catalyst, so remember, it takes 10 minutes after you actually complete the item for it to build up. When you first buy it, it's actually not very efficient.
These guys going pretty hard. 30 seconds on Dragon, so they're trying to spit out what damage they can. Look at the forward wards from LMQ now, once again to be used. They have breadcrumb wards for safety in the jungle they praised previously.
And this XiaoWeiXiao Yasuo, there was not even a 1/10 of a second there for the animation for Xpecial to move from the Lee Sin kick. As soon as it registers, boom, XiaoWeiXiao is there, stuck in place, and he saves the dash to jump over the wall after Xpecial flashes. Really, really well played by XiaoWeiXiao. And Xpecial with the first misstep here. Again, supports trying to get vision. It's a dangerous game for them.
Absolutely. So what LMQ has prioritized completely pays off in the last 3.5 minutes. They made quick work of that to now completely even out the game. They're only down a kill. And I'm sure they'll find that somewhere very soon. They're still continuing to put wards down on that bottom side of the jungle.
And Vasilii, since he has foregone the purchasing of boots, he's been able to rush the completion of his Trinity Force.
Yeah. And pinks for his team.
So that will be very big for their bottom lane. And they continue to push Cop and Xpecial back. But man, 4 kills for Curse, 4 assists on Xpecial. Every single one was set up by him. 4 kills for Cop. It's where they want the money. But can he make use of it? Kog'Maw, the reason I think that it took so long to make its way over to North America is it's a bit different than most of the other AD carries. It's not the easiest to play because you have to be very quick with your mouse. He does long range damage, so your target selection is very far away from your champion, and you have to move your cursor a relatively large distance. But he's also very low mobility, and dodging skill shots is paramount on him. He cannot get locked down, so you have to move your mouse back to your character for a quick dodge in the right direction.
It's a different style. If you think of somebody like Doublelift, if he were to play Kog'Maw, Doublelift locks his screen in a fight. You can't do that with Kog'Maw's living artillery at max range. You're missing out on range, so he is absolutely a different player. Champion, I should say. Let's see what the late game can provide from him, and we'll see if Cop actually has that ability to hit the living artillery. It's a slow falling spell, pretty easy to dodge out, so it's almost like you are the AD carry that gets to predict the skill shots this time. They're dodging yours.
Yeah, it's really hard to dodge if you don't have boots. But now Vasilii has been able to get tier 2. Going with the Sork boots for more poke damage rather than the auto attack oriented Berserker Greed. So right now, let's see if XiaoWeiXiao gets caught.
Yeah, he's definitely caught. Oh, the windwall's a little far, but the team gets a very nice tidal wave from Nami. That is a great last breath to follow up, and it's a little back and forth, but NoName and the rest of the team are just trying to decide who to kick. A Rune Prison saves down Voyboy, but he's out of the fight. Nobody is going to be taking the Lantern. Quas has to run back to the turret. He actually might be safe here. No, the resonating strike. That Sonic Wave didn't hit. He actually may have gotten help from the rest of his team.
Xpecial trying to get there to offer his support to the rest of the Curse squad, but nobody takes the Lantern out. And it's going to be Voyboy dead, actually.
Voyboy gets hit up. The Ignite coming in to make sure they could finalize that. Staying a little too long. Did not need to ward there, but they now know the red's gone.
Yeah, perfect Nami play. Land the slow first, flash in, bubble. Great job by him. Double Rod of Ages have been completed, so both solo laners from Curse now on that 10-minute timer, working their way up. Great knockup, so they get 2 of them in the air. Voyboy flashes over. Let's see. The hook barely misses. One of the ones that where Xpecial does miss.
Somebody take it.
It's right next to Quad.
Take the Lantern.
It's right next to him. He doesn't see it. His eyes are...
He couldn't see it under his belly.
He's got the beer goggles on.
Yeah, that's all right.
His vision was blurred.
It happens. I'm at fault for not taking Lanterns too. I can't say anything.
Whoa, Xpecial again. Barely missing out. Catching the coattails.
And that's That's one great thing about having an awesome game on a champion like Thresh is your presence starts to create more pressure. If you're having a bad game, teams consider that, and they'll walk around you. But right now, they have to make sure they're not in the range of that hook. Quas, wow, this is a weird separation for the fight. Cop's out of mana. There's a fight going on in the top here, and just down to the south, Cop figures out that he's in a sore spot. Gets back to the team, and they're able to trade 2 for 1 here. Curse's favor so far. Ackerman with a very deep teleport that I don't think they should have done.
We got to give a lot of credit to Quas in that fight. He teleports first, he zones out Vasilii, knocks him back with the ultimate so that the fight is sectioned off into 2 separate quadrants right there, with a lot of the damage from LMQ not going to the damage sources of Curse. They had him cornered, 4 men up there in the blue side by Golem Bush. Whereas the only member from Curse that was zoned off in the bottom side was Cop. So let's take a look here.
What a spread in this
Early
fight.
teleport in from Quas. He gets a couple seconds jumping. That's all it takes. 2 members of LMQ jump in. So when Quas walks by here, he has already thrown his ulti to make sure Vasilii is not going to join. Cop is able to make his way over by using the speed boost of his heal and then flashing over the side. Zones out. Allows his barrel to ferment there for a while for extra damage. He gets the exit kill on Ackerman.
The stinky sauce, right? Just get hit up. You're either slowed by it or you're dead by it. Not fun. Moving up, LMQ is going to be getting a few structures and some gold for themselves, assisted in that area as well. Go back and forth. XiaoWeiXiao whips out the sword! Tries to make a big move, but he's going to have to dash out of this one. So he's going the wrong way right now. We'll see if he can turn this one back around. And he cannot. The wall goes out. Just a tad to the side.
Not the angle he wanted there on the wall, but he still would have went down. Anyways, that's why Voyboy took Exhaust right there. Saw it in action. It was able to lower the damage enough. Red buff in it. Quas turns it around.
Yeah. Big boy Quas is. Definitely different stats on Gragas now coming into 4.10. And it's going to be a hit up on Ackerman. The barrel almost hits. They do take down Voyboy. He gets a little too close for comfort. Curse has to reassess this fight. XiaoWeiXiao still waiting to come back from just before.
I have to say, after the rough early game there from NoName and the countering that he received, he's had some very strong Lee Sin ultimates. He does not stop trying to make plays. As we said, LMQ are a team that keeps swinging.
Oh, he can still safeguard out of this one if he gets the ward out, but it looks like they may be able to come out on top of this fight. He hits another beautiful sonic wave, gets the hit down now onto Dominate. Cop's gonna be able to wreak havoc. Oh, he missed it just point blank, but it's only the Voidoos. Cop actually will not pursue. XiaoWeiXiao entering the fight. Remember, he was just coming from base. LMQ did that with 4 people.
XiaoWeiXiao not able to avoid the slow there, though, so his flash goes to waste.
Right.
All right, NoName, as we say, LMQ keeps swinging. He goes for the steal, he gets the steal, then he turns around and picks up some kills as well. Even with Dominating getting face of the mounted shield, gets the red buff. Now this Q, even if he lands it and goes in on Cop, he probably dies. So, maybe he was just trying to avoid the Lee syndrome. He had gotten a prescription.
Yeah, keeping it safe.
Avoid landing Qs when you are half-life.
Hey man, doctor's orders. Sometimes you gotta listen. So we're getting the charged up here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the inventory on the side of Quas and Voyboy. Look quite charged, fully charged. Voyboy's almost there. He'll be up there soon. And Quas is about 60 off. So soon. They're still looking Ninja Toppies across the board we were talking about earlier. All the damage they're trying to shut down, at least for that impact of XiaoWeiXiao's hit. But the whole team of LMQ, we know their aggression. It does not stop. And now that they have a lead, it's coming out even stronger. XiaoWeiXiao wanted a 1v1 immediately there.
They have had a pretty good early game. The only flaw was the concentration down bottom. That didn't work out. But since then, they haven't let up. They don't let, you know, the first stumble slow them down at all. They get right back to it. And they need to. They have to do that with the squad that they've picked. With these champions, they need to take advantage of these spikes in power. Corki, especially right now, very, very strong.
Another uncontested outer turret. 3 now, and it's actually a shutdown for LMQ so far in those turrets. They have not lost any map vision in the lanes.
Yasuo with the 2-item power spike. Lee Sin getting the early magic resist aura. Strong for the team in itself because it's a dual AP with a sort of hybrid damage AD carry.
Right. There's a lot of AoE.
Baron already dead. What in the...
Oh, Voyboy goes in. He doesn't really have what he needs to take the damage from LMQ yet. Quas, however, he does. If that was the first entry, they may be looking at a different fight. They're somewhat able to turn this around. Cop is very big, but he really hasn't had the time to just spit out damage in a fight. This is the extended fight that they want.
Oh!
Another hook coming in from Xpecial, one after the other for Curse this game.
Interesting trade there. I believe they also killed... No, they did not kill Ackerman. He got out with the Baron buff.
Yeah, just one.
So yeah, early start from LMQ. NoName screens until Baron gets low, gets down there. Voyboy rushes in for the AoE magic damage after LMQ sit in Baron pit. Very, very effective. Him plus Quas were able to do enough. Yeah, Ackerman does escape down the bottom. But Curse don't let anyone else. Taking down both NoName as a... There we go. Another one of the hooks. So yeah, how much were Curse able to get during that replay? I don't think there was much left on the map.
Well, they've got one
Dragon's
turret so
dead
far,
now.
so they grab mid.
They may have got... Yeah, they got one turret at least.
Right.
I think Dragon was still down for that. But yeah, a pretty good recovery by Curse there to scrape up some kills, and then an objective, the global gold there, and mid turret being down, may have drawn that to even. Because there's only 2 Baron buffs left on LMQ. It's not the end of the world there for Curse. Even though Vasilii on Corki is one of the best champions to have that Baron buff on, he benefits from all aspects of the buff. And he's
Very
already...
strong with
Whoa,
those stats.
early Last Whisper, actually. To get through all of these Ninja Tabi and the sort of tanky Gragas, the Frozen Heart from Voyboy, I think it's a good buy. There's a lot of early armor here on Curse. So, nice early purchase there from Vasilii to make sure that he does have this mid-game Corki power spike and make sure that he can take advantage of it. The double Rod of Ages are almost built up.
Very close.
Fully stacked up for Quas. Voyboy's just ticks home to 200 as well. So they have the scaling from their rods as well.
It doesn't make him look
to make
huge,
plays.
Though. See if they can get bigger here. 6-1 and 4 Cop definitely needs a little bit of peel from the team coming into this next fight. See if he can keep himself safe. He's also going for the Last Whisper in the next purchase as he has the long sword pickaxe. We see, like you said, armor coming out for everybody. Xpecial already having that, probably going for Randuin's in the chain vest build he's put in for himself. We'll see that coming out for Quas as well. Curse now a little on the back foot, even though they won that fight. Still waiting for LMQ to go into let's make a mistake mode. But
I mean,
if LMQ doesn't do that, it could be quick.
This right now is probably the most crucial point in the game because Lee Sin is starting to fall off. He's pretty much full utility now. Got the locket, and he's going to have to make some plays with his Sightstone. Renekton starting to go that way as well. Just with the Tiamat, Quas is actually a very big impact on these mid-game team fights, and the Ryze is going to continue to go that way until
indecisive.
Yasuo caps out, though. They still have increased power here for LMQ. Dragon taken.
They didn't see him the whole time, and they let them finish Dragon before they engage, so their focus can be spot on. But will it matter? XiaoWeiXiao going down very fast. There's a lot of focus from him. Vasilii's got himself in a great position, and so does Cop. The AD carries are shredding from the outside. Vasilii's got himself on the other side of the wall and can't return, as now Curse is
the prediction!
Gets it on the prediction indeed. With the living artillery, Cop comes up huge.
Yeah, you gotta give Cop credit for that one. Beautiful shot, even before the ward is placed. Knows exactly what NoName is going for. And Vasilii, the reason he had to flash out into Dragon Pit is because he Valked into the fight right next to Voyboy.
Right.
You cannot Valkyrie right next to that late game. Well, it's not late game, Ryze, but even mid game. He's got his completed items. Very dangerous. LMQ, full aggression. Vasilii, for the beginning of the fight, is shoving all of his damage into Quas. There's the Val into Voyboy here. And he knows, whoopsies, gotta flash out. That's a lot of LMQ damage. They don't have that mid-game Corki to deal with the rest of this fight, so there's nothing left for him. Shot fired, ward placed, bad choice. There's another angle. He could have gone down there with a ward jump. But man, Cop with the prediction. Good pickup for Curse, and that's 8 kills now for him. This Kog'Maw is going to get out of control. Voyboy just finishes the Seraph's Embrace on the Ryze too. This is the problem that LMQ were worried about running into. They still do have a little bit of breathing room though, because Yasuo has the 3 items, the very, very strong completion of Infinity Edge on top of the first 2 here. So XiaoWeiXiao will have a strong impact, but man, they pretty much need to make a quick move.
Yeah. They got to get through a lot too. Voyboy is able to control Seraph's Embrace shield now, so he can give himself a little mitigation on that front end burst. That's going to be so heavy coming out of LMQ.
Yeah, that duo there. Everyone thought, you know, the Renekton and Lee Sin, you feel great about them for the early game.
Yeah.
And even mid because of the early game gold lead that they got. But once we get past this 30-minute mark, those... Uh-oh, they turn sour. Xpecial takes the ride.
Ackerman, that's a split on the fight. So Xpecial's on the right side.
4.
This means there's hardly any peel for Cop, but that he can't get back. But Cop has great positioning right now, so he doesn't even need the peel. XiaoWeiXiao goes in, and they quickly jump over to Cop, forcing him to flash. LMQ is just waiting to take down Cop. That focus did not work for them.
That Rune Prison is all the peel that they needed. Great job by Voyboy, looking out for Cop. Cop, for this fight, still had both summoners as well.
Yeah.
So it was just a decimation of the LMQ squad here. And the late game Cog, Voyboy already stacked up. This may be
very good. They still got
the timer expiring
20 seconds
LMQ.
On Lee Sin. He can provide a little bit of slow and the control they need to keep Curse in a bad spot. But yeah, they have the inhibitor. They have a free walk out of the base without taking anything else. Baron's going to be up in 11 seconds. They might have to worry about that in backing.
So communication there. Quas calling, I've got teleport ready. So Xpecial takes the ride and they get this team fight. Everybody groups up. There was so much damage on NoName. They got him out of the fight really early. Yeah. Since Xpecial still has Face of the Mountain for Cop. Cop with the Kog'Maw Trinity Force plus Blade build is actually fairly substantially defensive. Ackerman. Ackerman's toast. They actually get Baron and kill Ackerman at the same time. But he doesn't go down. McHale's gets him out.
Oh no. The XiaoWeiXiao replay at Baron. XiaoWeiXiao
going down.
It's going to be a triple. First one. Last one was a triple to almost a quadra, but he picks up the double this time.
You have to run with this. They need to take this advantage.
A great dodge by Xpecial considering his vision. Knowing what they could do to get out of that one alive. Vasilii's trying to chase with the blue buff. A big one. Readied in the chamber for the next shot, but it's not going to take anybody down.
Split focus there from Curse almost cost them, but they are able to come out of it with the Baron and only a 2-for-1 trade for LMQ. So definitely worth it for Curse this time around. Even though they give up control of the map, minion wave here would be 1 turret at most if LMQ press it. And it doesn't even look like they will press it.
This was almost some scary deja vu.
Exactly. So split here, Baron plus trying to zone. And they zone long enough to buy time to finish off the Baron. Because they got that answer kill on Ackerman, that was pretty much all they needed. Cop this time, as we said, no summoners left. They're able to get the combo that they want. Yasuo got in, killed Cop. That's the point of XiaoWeiXiao. That's his #1 mission. He was able to get it, but it was just a little bit too late for the team.
We're seeing almost the same game as previously. One team's building all damage, the other one's trying to build all defense and still win the game. Curse has been doing a little bit of the winning on the defensive side now, almost within 700 gold as it ticks up. 19-5 as they have the kills. It seems to be working a little bit in both teams' favor as we're going to go again for the long haul.
Yeah, Curse have a bunch of champions with very strong innate damage just in the champion kit, so they can afford to build them very defensively. That's why Ryze is so strong in the late game, because he gets all the damage from his kit, and he can build defensively with these mana items that also have defensive stats on them. Same thing for Gragas with these sort of hybrid build, tank/AP, and Kog'Maw as well. These items that Kog'Maw gets make him beefier. Uh-oh, another hook!
Max range coming from Xpecial. This is going to be a kill on the NoName. One last shot from the BioArcade Barrage, but Cop's not in range. NoName will still go down in that fight. Moore's going to be hit up. Another consecutive hook from Xpecial coming in. His Thresh play today has been out of this world.
It is safe to say that Curse have weathered the early game storm of LMQ, and skies are sunny now.
Dragon going down, Curse picking up everything they can as they make their way back to base. See this again.
Hey, yo.
So
if he missed the first one, there were 3 more members lined up right behind NoName as well. This is with Baron Buff.
Cop is always in
Quas!
back.
Quas whipped his ulti right there into the wall, I think. The crooked wall blocked it.
The things you miss when you're looking at everything else. 3,000 gold was accrued from that, along with the Dragon for Curse, as they now push down into the bottom lane. Voyboy's going to help get a little extra damage on that as he face tanks. He has quite a bit of armor for himself. They're not even worried about it. That's like 4 shots to the face. Only down 200 HP. 21 to 15, the kills continue to rack up in the favor of Curse, and at one point, LMQ had 3 turrets to Curse's none. Now Curse has 6 turrets to 3.
Xpecial gets locked up.
Oh, Ackerman.
Trading
the range coming in from Cop right now. He's able to shred on the outside. Xpecial very close to going down, but he lives. And it's going to be the rest of the team trying to fight on the bottom side here. The entrance push out of base. Good kills coming in from Curse.
They blew the NoName XiaoWeiXiao combo through. That was Lee Sin Yasuo ulti on Xpecial, and he survives it.
One more chance the LMQ could have to stop this. Curse is all over the Nexus turrets, though. It's going to be very hard if LMQ is even able to get another fight for themselves. It's going to come in. Ackerman's getting hit up. He gets locked in. He's going to get taken down, possibly. A few more shots. Xpecial just hits 1,000 assists for an NA LCS support. The first one ever at 36 minutes into this game. Moore is almost going to go down. Xpecial finally dies. MVP Thresh of the game as he hits his 1,000 assists.
What a story. That was eerily similar to Double Lift.
Yep.
Hitting his record right at the buzzer.
Yep.
And Xpecial really earned it this time around.
Oh my gosh.
He put in so much work to land all of those hooks. The assists record definitely deserved from him.
Hooks on hooks. All day long. A very well-fought game. LMQ coming out with an in-your-face composition, looking to get Yasuo procced ultimates almost out of every single lane, but it just wasn't happening. Control over the jungle from NoName in the early game, but Curse was able to bring it back. Great map movement. Voyboy bringing out the Ryze this game, and Curse understanding that their composition kind of needed to go late game, and that's where they brought it with the Rod of Ages. And Cop on Kog'Maw, 12-2-9. His last best score is 8-0-8 on Illusion, so he just kind of went off on this game as well.
Cop definitely doing a good job. You have to give him praise for that prediction ult, if nothing else, for the kill on the NoName. Xpecial that man right there. His 100th game, because all these guys who've been in the LCS for this amount of time have all played the same amount of games, same as Double Lift, since they had their 2 games earlier. 1,000 assists in 100 games. How are these stats coming out so perfectly?
I don't know.
These North American players